Hey, what's going on, guys? You're here with Team Journey TC. Now, as I'm sure you are very aware, um, there has been much talk on how to make a strong female character. Everyone's like, oh, this is a Mary Sue. Oh, this is whatever. Oh, this is blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. And you know what I'm talking about. Everybody has wanted to achieve this strong female character that is loved by everyone and is amazing. And everyone wants to do this. So I thought today we should talk about how to do this. Be sure to subscribe, by the way. I didn't say that at the beginning. I'm saying it now. Please subscribe. Okay, so let's get right into how to make this. Now, there are actually some good templates that we can look up. Everyone brings up the person from Alien, but I'm not going to talk about her for two reasons. One, I haven't seen the movie, and I'm not going to because I'm terrified of anything remotely horror. So no. And two, she's not the main character. So we're going to focus on how to make... I'm going to use someone who's also not the main character, so maybe I shouldn't say that. But we're going to focus on elements to make a main character, mostly that I haven't seen it. And everyone already talks about it, okay? And everyone says that you should just, like, it just shouldn't matter their gender. And, like, you can just... Because she changed or whatever, like, she was originally written to be a boy. But, like, I feel like, even from what I've heard, she's still, like, a mothery figure. So I'm like, you know, I'm not sure that you need to just write it as a male and then put it as a female. I don't think that's the way to go either. So we're just gonna push her off to the side, and she's a great female character from what I've heard. Actually, I haven't seen it. So good template to use, but we're gonna talk about other things today. So number one with Mary Sue's, everyone knows the number one issue is that they don't have flaws. Okay. So I'm going to use the most off-the-wall example. None of you have heard of it, okay? None of you. None of you is a strong word, but I recently saw this in, like, my feed, or, like, my YouTube feed, and I was like, yes, I like the show. It's very corny, and it's not really, it's not something you should look at for good storytelling and in-deep characters, but we're talking about She-Ra, okay? You're looking at me funny. You don't even know what this is. This is an animated show. Go watch it on Netflix. It's very good. And I'll tell you why it's good, okay? This show, let's be real, it sucks, okay? Pardon my language. It is god-awful terrible, okay? Just looking at it from, like, a main perspective. But why we are using it and why it is good is because it's got one character in it who is perfect. And she's a villain. And there's nothing wrong with having a female character that's a villain. You don't need them to be, oh, cool, we got strong female villains too. No. She's not that. Why is she perfect? If you already have seen the show, you know who I'm talking about, okay? I am, of course, talking about Catra, okay? Who else would I be talking about? Okay? She's the only good character in the show. I don't know why I took on, like, a Brooklyn accent there, but we transform as we go through these YouTube videos to what my accent's going to be next. You don't know what's going to be next week, okay? I'm just saying, this is exciting. Talking with my hands, too. She is, like, great. And you know why she's great? Because she acts exactly how you'd imagine someone to act, okay? She is a person. She is so much of a person. Spoiler alert if you want to... Don't worry about spoilers. If you're watching this, it ain't for the storyline, okay? Her friend, She-Ra, betrays her, essentially. In her mind, she goes and leaves. Gone. Like, leaves. She's been her best friend forever. She's kind of lazy, which, you know, not everyone is lazy, but, you know, kind of not good at school, which is something most people are, or whatever their school is. Then her best friend, who is amazing and perfect, but her best friend, who she's kind of jealous of in a little way, because she's like, I'm as good as you, but whatever. That doesn't even matter. She doesn't even need to be better jealous of her. Her best friend, okay, runs off and leaves her and joins, like, their enemy, essentially, okay? How would you feel if your best friend just left you, and you go back to get her, and she's like, no, I'm done with you guys, I'm going off with my new friends? Like, that's literally what happens, okay? Essentially. And, you know, How would you feel if your friend, just your best friend, just up and left you, like in the middle of the night, like just gone? No slow progression. No, you have a chance to move on. No, you know what you'd be like? You'd be like, screw you for leaving me, okay? What? You just left me, like, for nothing? And you know what she does? That's exactly that. She goes, becomes the new leader. She goes and she makes friends with the old people, and she's like, she hates her after that, which makes sense. It's not like out of nowhere. It's the wrong thing to do, and what instead she should be doing is going and join her, because we as the audience know that she was right. So it is in an essence a flaw, but it's not a good flaw, but it makes her character as a character make sense and be a good character. She's also manipulative, and she doesn't just get to win because she's a girl and amazing. She works her way to the top. She chats with the people. She turns people against each other. She works her way there, and she still likes her old friend. Like when she comes back, she saves her and like doesn't kill her or whatever, or lets her go or something like that. I don't quite remember. It's been a while. And that's why she is a good character. Now the second good character I'm going to talk about, I've talked about a little bit before, is Wonder Woman. Now do I think she's an amazing female character that we should all follow for everything? No, she's got her problems, okay? And that movie certainly got its problems, okay? But, to be fair, its problem isn't that she's Mary Sue of some kind. It's not its issue. It's just simply not. No one, I've never heard someone argue that. People only sort of can argue that she's a Mary Sue because she can, I guess, stand in the battlefield and like, but no, that's not what she is. Her story, she's a fish out of water. So she's already kind of, that doesn't necessarily make you not a Mary Sue, just by the way, being a fish out of water is not. No. But that's kind of just what it's not like she goes and she can like destroy everything. No, she can't. And she's also just wrong. Like she thinks, well, technically she's not wrong, but whatever. She thinks that humanity is worth saving and whatever, and then at the end she doesn't. She doesn't. And you also see that she's a person, like even though she is technically a god, okay? You see her cry at some point. That's my favorite part of the movie, because it tells me that she is a person, okay? She failed. She failed. Have your character fail, okay? If your character doesn't fail at least once, you're doing something wrong, okay? Technically, and they should have their biggest fail right before the climax, because then it makes the climax have more tension. Unless you're doing like a comedy or something. You know what I mean. There are styles that could make that not be the optimal way to do it, but that's how you should do it. You know what Mary Sue's don't do? They don't fail. Or they fail in something stupid that isn't really their fault, or isn't really them that failed. Have your character be the one that fails. Because you know what? Humans fail. Congratulations. I'm sorry the world isn't perfect. It's not. It's just not. It can't be. So how are we going to relate to someone who's just perfect all the time? I mean, it's nice if you want to read like some fan fiction or something because you just want to feel better about yourself and you want to stand in for yourself. I mean, yes, that's nice occasionally, but from big stories and big movies, no one wants that. No one wants that. Okay, there's a time and a place for the stand-ins, mostly in the fanfic world. Okay, don't spend any time in the fanfic world though. That's a hole you do not want to go down. But like, just make your characters human, guys. Okay, please. I hope this was useful. I'm sure you didn't hear anything new, but I'm just saying this is apparently mind-breaking stuff. All right, because no one's gotten it right. All you gotta do, I get why, because you're writing it, you're thinking about what do you relate to, and you don't relate to failing, do you ever? No, you don't. You are perfect, the writer says. But no, they are not perfect, and they've written a perfect character, which they do not fail, and nobody fails. Okay. So this is the main problem. This is the problem with Gary stews and whatever stews. The only reason Gary stews are just as bad. The only reason they're technically better is because they don't fill out some agenda no one thinks that they are trying to. So that's why they're technically better. Not storytelling-wise. They're just as bad storytelling-wise. They're only better because no one's like, I'm getting force-fed some political stuff while I'm watching my movie, which is annoying, even if you agree with it. Like, there is no point in time where I have watched something, and even if I agreed with it, which to be fair doesn't happen that often, but let's say it did, okay? If I'm looking for something, like if I'm on YouTube and I'm like, oh, stuff I agree with, type it up, then I'm expecting things I agree with. But not when I'm getting force-fed a movie, okay? Alright. I'm done. This is terrible.